Brighton and Hove Albion, one of the best run clubs in the Premier League. Of recent years, Brighton have really surprised everyone. They have taken the club from sort of a newly promoted Premier League club to being one of the best run clubs, selling WONDERKIDS from all over the world, selling them on for massive profit. Like Moises Caicedo signed from Ecuador, sold for £100 million to Chelsea, which is an outrageous fee. And Alexis McAllister, a not quite outrageous fee, but signed from Argentina for just pennies and sold for £35 million. Brighton have become the new Southampton, I would like to say, in terms of signing WONDERKIDS and selling them on and developing players at a very heavy rate. And today we're going to be seeing if we can do the opposite to Southampton and not get relegated into the Championship. We are going to carry on the WONDERKID trend here at Brighton, signing players of only the age of under 23, seeing if we can sell them on for big money, see how we can do in lifting trophies. This is the first time Brighton are in Europe in the club's history. We're going to try and stay there in the next 5 years. The whole time I want to be in Europe. We want to lift some trophies, maybe even a Premier League, maybe a Champions League. That would be absolutely wild. But today we are rebuilding Brighton, signing WONDERKIDS only, and without more rambling, let's get into it. So Brighton have already done half the job for us already. Bart Verbruggen is one of the best goalkeepers on the game for potential as a WONDERKID, and he's here in goal, which is fantastic. And I see so many people starting Brighton saves and not using Bart Verbruggen, so I am locking him in at goalkeeper for the whole of the save, right? He is fantastic. If you're doing a Brighton save and you're not using him, you're doing it all wrong. Give him a chance. He is simply outrageous. Just trust me and use Bart Verbruggen. And in midfield as well, you need to use Carlos Baleba. We're locking this guy in for the first season as well. As a Segundo Volante on support, he suits it down to a T. The finishing isn't fantastic, but the aggression, the pace, the determination, he will love that role. So Baleba and Bart Verbruggen are two brand new signings who are going to be there. We've also got star man from Japan, Karao Mitoma, who's just got a brand new contract and has been absolutely killing it as well. He's very quick, he's got great dribbling, and we all know how good this guy could be. And of course, the man, the myth, the legend, through Brighton, signed from Bohemians for what, 50p? Probably around that. He's fantastic, isn't he? He's been locked in up front. Evan Ferguson as an advanced forward. He's going to be fantastic. Now, the Evan Ferguson project, for me, never seems to go very well. I'm going to lock him in for 5 years. I want this guy to lead the line for every single one of our sims. Sometimes he scored lots of goals, sometimes he never scores a goal. So I'm interested to see what happens this time with Evan Ferguson. In terms of our scouting, I'm not sure if we've got it set up yet. I've actually done it. I've got 5 scout wins going across all over the world, in every single continent of the final players at the age of 15 to 20 or 15 to 21. Trying to just find the best WONDERKIDs that are going to come through. They're going to be ongoing for the whole entire save. So hopefully we can find them. If you guys want to copy these at all, this is pretty much what I do. I do 1.5 star current ability, 4 star potential ability, 15 to 20 in Europe. Get them out there and get them gone. For some of the smaller continents, like not South America, because they're fantastic, like that's Europe. How have I done that back to back? That's embarrassing. Asia, for example, we go 1 star current ability, 3.5 star potential ability. If you're not finding anybody, you can always drop it down to the 5 star silver and keep the potential ability, because sometimes the ability isn't quite there, but the potential is always there. So if you're struggling to find WONDERKIDs, I would certainly do these recruitment focuses. If you want a dedicated video on how to find the best WONDERKIDs, let me know down in the comments down below. I am more than happy to do that, but I'm not making any further changes to this squad. I am keeping it as for the first season. We're going to see what we can do in the Europa League, in the FA Cup, in the Carabao Cup, in the Premier League with this Brighton team. Locking in Bart Verbruggen, locking in Carlos Baleba, locking in Evan Ferguson. WONDERKID to Glory Season 1. Let's get into it. We kick things off then in the Europa League, where we were knocked out in the quarterfinals by Roma, which isn't the worst thing in the world. Jose Mourinho, a serial winner until it gets to the final against his old club, Real Madrid, and I don't think we'd have had a chance of beating Real Madrid in the final either. So we're not the most angry about that. Quarterfinal, it's a great showing in our first time in Europe, and it's probably going to be better than they do in real life by the looks of things currently. In the FA Cup, knocked out in the 3rd round, but by Manchester United, the best club in the world, of course, who went on to win the whole thing. So far, knocked out by 2 finalists, and Carabao Cup, we're knocked out by Brentford, which is frustrating in the 4th round, because we definitely could have done better. A 1-0 loss. In the Premier League, we managed to stay in Europe, which is great. It's not in the greatest competition, it's in the Europa Conference League, but it gives us a chance at silverware, because I genuinely believe this Brighton team is good enough to lift some silverware, especially the Europa Conference League. And we had an overall decent season in terms of the players and how they did. Obviously, we locked in Bart Verbruggen, who got a 7.02, which is a fantastic overall rating for a 20-year-old goalkeeper. He's already progressing fantastically, and like I said, you've just got to give this guy game time. I see too many people on FM sign this guy or start a Brighton save and do not use him. Just play him in goal. He will turn into one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and you will see that by the end of this rebuild. Carlos Baleba locked in 12 goals and 4 assists, and he's only got 8 finishing, now up to 9. You can see how well this guy's progressing as well, and over a 7 average rating as a 19-year-old turning 20 in the Premier League. Fantastic for his first season, absolutely brilliant. And Evan Ferguson did okay. He had quite a big injury this year, which is a bit worrying. He broke his ankle, which isn't great. So he's going to be a little bit on a knock, which could completely change his trajectory. But what he did play, he played 27 games, 10 off the bench, scored 20 goals and got 4 assists, which is decent. 15 goals, 15 finishing, 14 first touch and 16 pace. Evan Ferguson is going to be fantastic for us, it looks like. It's a very, very good start to his career. 10 assists for purpose SGP, and you can sort of see from the tactics what I'm looking to go out there and improve. I want a brand new right back rather than having Joel Veltman. I want a new centre back next to Lewis Dunk. I want a new anchor next to Baleba, and I want a new winger over Solly March as well. We've got Facundo Buonanotte here at the club, who is a fantastic wonder kid, and again progresses really well, but I don't think his Premier League ability to kick things off, and I think locking him in would do us more harm than it should do. I'm going to see what sort of sales we can make. We've got lots of money. We've got £83 million in the bank, which is great, but I do want to try and sign some wonder kids that aren't always so expensive as well, so we'll see if I stick to that or not. Let's get into some signings for season 2. Well, the wonder kid rebuild, I've sold one of the best South American wonder kids on the game. Jeremy Sarmiento is another one that can turn into an absolute demon, and last season went out on loan to West Brom, where he's had 42 games and scored 10 goals, and this season I decided to sell him. £20 million I think for him is raising a lot of money for someone with potential but not quite the ability, and it seems like in our save with his sort of dynamic potential he didn't have it, so we've sold him for 20 million, and I think that's an absolute bargain of a signing with a 20 million buyback as well. We also signed Andrew Moran. Now this guy again is highly sought of in real life. He's an Irish central attack midfielder, £7 million. He is probably just not going to get game time with us, so I sold him, and I don't think that's the worst thing to do when we're looking to try and sign a countless amount of wonder kids. We have to be clever with who we're bringing in and who we're selling, because there's going to be a lot of wonder kids that come in that don't make it, and Andrew Moran is one of them. Jacob Mulder has had the club for $4 million to go over to Al Ali. Not disappointed with this sale at all. Again, get someone off the wage bill. 300k a week he's now going to earn, so I'm sure he's not complaining either. Igor is a brand new signing in real life. We've sold him to Hertha Berlin because he only played 12 games last season. I think we can do better than Igor as well, so around £14 million. Igor is out of the door, and Carl Rushworth is a 23-year-old English goalkeeper who we sold for £5 million, and again, we've got Bright for Bruggen. We don't need Carl Rushworth. He looks like he's got decent enough potential to be a Premier League goalkeeper, which is fantastic, but he's going to just sit here and rot and not get good with us, so I'd rather sell him for £5 million while we can, and that's exactly what we've done. Last season out of Swansea on loan, he was fantastic. 38 appearances, just 36 conceded, so if you've not used Carl Rushworth, maybe give him a look. Now the first signing we're making is a cheaper one, and one that I've signed to send straight back out on loan, and it is Joel Rocker. This guy is at Girona in real life, and Girona are a team that are absolutely smashing it in real life, and it seems like they've got a fantastic wonder kid on their hands as well. 14 dribbling, 12 first touch, 16 flair, 14 determination, great pace, 19 years of age, £2.5 million. He's gone back out on loan to Girona to see what he can do, so I'm happy to bring him in, maybe a developmental player. Hopefully he grows into something special, as does this guy, Patrick Dorgu. I've signed him for £11.5 million, and I've loaded him straight back out to Lecce because I've got Pervis Estupiñán, but this guy, pick him up early. He is so cheap. He is so good. He can develop into one of the best left backs in the world. 7 determination will get him in a mentoring group. Great crossing, great dribbling, great pace. Got decent enough defending to kick things off as well. And it's great on the ball. So that is important. And you can develop everything else that comes with experience. So Patrick Dorgu for £11 million. Fantastic. Like I said, get him in and get him out on loan. Adrian Maziulu is someone that I think I've signed, or have Brighton signed in real life potentially. I'm not too sure if I signed him or not. £2.6 million I've loaned him out to Coventry. I think I signed him. I've got no idea, to be honest. But he looks very good. Good determination, good pace, good balance, good dribbling, good finishing, good corners, good first touch. I might have signed him if I hadn't. I've wasted time. I do apologise. Adrian Maziulu is here for £2.6 million. And the first one that I've made for the first team, and someone to come in and make a big impact. We've got João Pedro in cam, but that can be upgraded by this guy. Mauritius Kjaergaard looks outrageous. And I've never seen this guy on FM before. He's 6'4". He's Danish. He's a centre attacking midfielder. He's got 15 acceleration and 14 pace. He's got 17 strength. He's got 15 determination, and he's 21 years of age. And we signed him for £15 million. This is a Brighton signing all over. He looks fantastic, and hopefully he's going to develop into being fantastic. 5-star current ability, 92 million value already. Finishing needs to improve. That will improve over time. Great dribbling, great heading. I mean, I'm buzzing the fact we've signed Martis Kiergaard. He looks absolutely fantastic. So we'll see if we can make him one of the best players in the world. We've then gone for a pricey signing, and someone that I think was linked with Brighton in real life, was certainly linked to a move to the Premier League in real life, and that is Johan Bakayoko. Now, this guy, as the right winger instead of Solly March, is fantastic. £42 million is what it took to get him, but I went for realism, and I don't think it would cost that in real life, but signing him was something I wanted to do. Great acceleration, great pace, great dribbling, great crossing, and in this Brighton tactic, we play with a winger on support, so that is going to be perfect. He's going to suit that down to the ground. So 16 passing, he can link up the play as well. He's quick, so he can get on the counter, and hopefully Johan Bakayoko will be a fantastic signing. It's an expensive one, but one I think that was needed to make. Sebastian Boselli is the next signing. This guy is my right back. He is a fullback on support to cover off Joel Veltman. Now, he is a younger option. He is 6 foot. He is 20 years of age. He is from River Plate, and again, is a typical Brighton signing. We signed him for £9 million. He's got a value of £44 million, and hopefully he can develop as well. He can play as a centre-back, he can play as a full-back, exactly like Joel Veltman, and suits it down to a ground as well. So Sebastian Boselli, a bargain right back to go ahead and sign. We needed an anchor man next to Carlos Baleba, and Samu was the man I went for, and this guy is just under the age of 23, which is fantastic. He does turn 24 soon, but he fits the criteria just about, and with 16 work rate, 16 stamina, great defensive attributes for signing of £21 million from Mallorca. They have made absolute bank, by the way, by selling him on this season. He looks fantastic, and he looks like a real prospect as well. So hopefully we can see good things from Samu. He's consistent and loves a big match as well. And you know, they're my two favourite things when looking out for a player. I've gone for a left field signing of Naves. Now, this guy is a Brazilian centre-back from Palmeiras. I've never heard of him. He looks okay. I'm going to see if he can develop. The potential looked better before he come in, and maybe be one of them that doesn't quite grow into anything. £2.8 million is what I spent. He looks alright. We'll see if we can get anything out of Naves. I've not got the most hope for him, but hopefully we can get something out of him. And then we finally signed the centre-back to sit next to Lewis Dunk. And Mika Marmo is my guy to come in and sit there. Again, this guy just turned 23. 6 anticipation, great heading, great passing, great tackling, great marking, great pace, great actual fitness. Signed for £18 million, a value of £42 million. Consistent, loves a big match. My favourite things. And the team looks exactly like this. It's Bart Verbruggen in goal, Boselli as the right back, Dunk and Marmo at centre back, Estupinian at left back, Samu and Baleba in midfield, Mitoma, Bakayoko, João Pedro and Evan Ferguson as the strikers, and the backups. We're starting to get to WONDERKIDS in there as well. Jason Steele in goal, Veltman, Naves, Webster, Lamptey, Gilmore, Gross, March, Kiergaard, Buonanotte, and that guy Welbs is still here at the club as well. But we have, you know, really improved our sort of loaning out and our WONDERKIDS overall. We've got some fantastic players coming through. We've got Enciso, who I've loaned out again to Watford. This guy could become one of the best players on the game. We've not mentioned him yet. He's here at the club already. He's got a worldie last season. I think he won goal of the season last season in real life. And he really is special. 16 dribbling, 16 long shots, 16 acceleration, 16 pace. This guy could be him. He could be that guy. So we've loaned him out again. Ed Towns has gone out on loan. And then the under-21s is Towns' potential as well. There's a few players in here. Darren Bodkin looks fantastic. Now, I think it's a bug with the face. That's not actually Darren. He has come through our youth academy. 16 first touch and 17 technique to kick things off. Yeah, hopefully Darren can become something very, very good. We've also got midfielder in here, Yassin Ayari, who is at Brighton in real life. We loaned him out to Coventry last season, where he had a decent season, a 6.8, very consistent in the Championship, which is good to see. We're going to try and loan him out again this season, see what we can get out of him. Hopefully he can go out on loan and improve. So that is the plan. James Beeder was a good young goalkeeper as well here at the club. Again, another reason we sold Kyle Rushworth, a value of £27 million at 19 years of age. Another fantastic goalkeeper. But I think that is everyone. I think we've gone through everything. We can now go for season 2. This Brighton WONDERKID sort of track just carries on going. They are everywhere. There is WONDERKIDS galore here at Brighton. We're in the Conference League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Premier League. Can we lift our first trophy in season number 2? Well, as your old mate Bob the Builder used to say, yes, we can. Today is a final in the Carabao Cup against Everton, and we are going to go 1-0 down thanks to a Butcher little chip over the goalkeeper, but we are not going to stop there. We're going to win this game 4-1. Kjaer got a ball through to Mitoma, who's going to stick it in the top corner to make it 1-0. To get our first goal in this game, the first of 4, Samu in DM spreads it out to Mitoma, who's going to drift in, find Kjaer. Look at the size of him. He's an absolute demon. That's his second and his first of the game. It's 2-1 for Brighton. Samu into Kjaer. I can't believe this guy. Finds Mitoma. Ferguson 3-1, and things are going very, very well here at Brighton. Pickford on the ball. Godfrey. Pickford. Oh, Pickford, what are you doing, son? He's had an absolute stinker, and Mitoma gets it in for 4-1. And a bit of classic FM play there. A fantastic performance, a fantastic win. And you can see from the graph as well, this tactic is beautiful. It's so wide, it's so aggressive, and I absolutely love it. With teams now going with inverted wing backs everywhere, I like to try and make tactics which exploit that and gets you the width, because if they're going to come inside, we'll go outside, and that is exactly what we've got to do. That was very, very sus. But that was the EFL Cup and a fantastic 4-1 victory, and it's not the only trophy we win this season, because we beat Atletico Madrid in the final of the Europa Conference League to win it 1-0. Now, I expected to win this competition, but not if we were going to play a team like Atletico Madrid, and we were fantastic. And Bart Verbruggen, man of the match, a 7.7, and look at him. Look at him. 2 seasons, of playing every game. He's now the Dutch #1, and he is so good. I really hope I am changing people's opinions on this guy. I have seen it in the comments. I have seen it everywhere on YouTube. I watch a Brighton save. No one plays him. Play him. He's fantastic. He's so, so good. And he is now one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. Like I said, the Dutch goalkeeper. He is simply fantastic. And I've played the match performance in a big game like this just shows his big game capability as well. Now, with both of them competitions being won, it did mean that we took a big old hit in the league. And it was quite a poor showing, to be honest, down in 11th place. 43 points, a -18 goal difference. But we qualified for the Europa League anyway, which is back to where we were at the start of season 1. So another season in Europe next season is fantastic. -18 goal difference is certainly something to look on and something I'm going to try and improve with the team. In terms of who did well this season, yeah, Mauritius is quite good. 27 goals. 27 goals. Sorry? His first season in the Premier League, 16 off the ball, 16 acceleration, 17 strength. His finishing has grown so well. I can't believe how good this guy is. I've never seen him on FM. £15 million. Honestly, go and get him. He is simply fantastic. You saw him in that match engine there as well, just how big he is, how dominant he can be, and he's playing in that cam, and he was fantastic. Evan Ferguson had an Evan Ferguson season, 19 goals and 2 assists in 43 games. It's not quite enough, but like I said, I'm sticking with him for the whole 5 years. I want to see him grow. I want to see if we can make him as good as he can be. I don't think he's going to get there, to be honest. João Pedro as the backup to Kjaer, believe it or not. 17 goals and 14 assists is fantastic to see. Great finishing, great penalty taken, work rate off the ball, decent pace. João Pedro, we know about him. He's fantastic. Mitoma, 11 goals and 14 assists. Great dribbling, first touch, acceleration. He was fantastic this season. Bakayoko, our first sort of big signing to come in for over £40 million. 10 goals and 12 assists. As a winger on support, that's fantastic. I've only now have £90 million as well. Baleba, 7 and 7. Gross even still playing games, 5 and 9. Samuel was fantastic this season, just under a 7 on a 6.99. Bart Verbruggen, a 7.07. Mika Marmo, a 6.74 isn't great. Maybe the centre back needs to be improved ever so slightly. In terms of any other signings here, not too many. In terms of the players that went out on loan, there was a hell of a lot. So Enciso on his loan spell, 52 appearances is fantastic over there. So that's good to go ahead and see. Can we get it to where it shows us how they did actually in the league? That would be helpful, wouldn't it? 52 games and 9 goals, a 7.04 rating. So Enciso could certainly come in to the team this season. Patrick Dorgu hardly played for Lecce, which is very frustrating. He's also got an injury, which isn't good. He's got the flu, so poor guy. Mazilu, 49 games in the Championship is very, very impressive. Did okay, scoring just 6 goals. João Roca hardly played for Girona either, so a little bit of a shame with him. Luca Barrington out on loan at Wickham did bits. Imari Samuels, Ed Turns, and Marcus Ifil also doing absolute wonders out of the B-Town. Fair play to him, what a legend. But yeah, that's the team. We've got, again, a lot of money to go and spend. 70 million, 300k in wage budget. Probably a few players to move on as well, so let's get into it. But Martis Kjaer, He's that guy. And this is about the time where I've got to tell you this save is available for you guys to download on Patreon as well. The end of season number 5, you can pick this save up on Patreon. It's around £5 a month. It's $5.50, so it converts to what it converts to. But it's a massive helper for me as a content creator. If you can get down there and support, you get bits for it as well. Some fantastic perks. Like I said, these rebuild files. If you want me to tweak any tactics, I've done that in the last couple of weeks as well. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you have got as well. So Patreon down below. Feel free to sign up for that one. It helps me out massively, and you can see from the sort of the setup, the lighting, the microphone, the camera, we are upgrading as we go, and it's all because of your guys' fantastic supports, and the support you give on the channel is ridiculous. So a massive thank you. That is down there if you want to pick up this Brighton save from the end of season 5 or any other season. Thank you for listening to my little spiel on why you should sign up to the Patreon, but a massive thank you for your support, for even being in this video. So if you do want to support, that is down there, but let's get back into it. Right then, more sales to be made, and sadly Billy Gilmore is the first man out of the door. He has head off to Spurs. He looks very, very good, but he didn't really play too much in the last couple of seasons. Around 24 games in the first, 22 in the second. Sold for £18 million, I think, is a good sale on our behalf. And for the players we're bringing in with Samu and Carlos Baleba in midfield, he is not quite at their level. I think he is a fantastic young player, but like I said, not quite reaching their level. Abdullah Sima as well, a fantastic winger and has great potential, but isn't going to reach it here at Brighton. Sold for £12.5 million last season. We sold him, actually. I forgot to go through him. So that's Abdullah Sima. He's also gone. Dennis Undav also left last season. He went to Al Ittihad, and he's gone over there and bagged absolute money and lots of goals as well. So we've raised quite a lot of money from sales, which is good to see. And we've also managed to sell another £64 million worth of players, and a lot of that coming from Tariq Lamptey, who's on £625,000 a week. Saudi is actually broken, isn't it? It's genuinely ridiculous, the money over there. We sold him for £37 million, and he's a fantastic fullback, and he's got great pace, and he's very good going forward. But for this right side, because I've got Estupiñán on the left, and I've sort of made it a sort of more left-sided approach of attacking on a fullback, he doesn't suit it. He is certainly not a defensive fullback. I mean, that doesn't suit him at all. So he can go out there, earn some ridiculous bread, and yeah, we can say goodbye to Tariq Lamptey. But thank you for your service. A fantastic wonder kid, but not quite suiting our needs. And Adam Webster has also left. A bit of a fantastic centre-back, to be honest. He's been great for Brighton in the last few years, but £18 million. Again, we've kind of moved on. We've sold him off to Mainz, so hopefully he can go out there and enjoy his career. And we replaced him with a very expensive, but also the best, in my opinion, South American wonder kid on the game, centre-back wise anyway, and that's William Pancho. This guy's stats are fantastic. 16 determination, 16 marking, 14 heading, and 14 tackling. Ridiculous pace, 6'2", extremely consistent, loves a big match. Yeah, as soon as I had the money sitting there, it was an absolute no-brainer to go and snap up William Pancho from Eintracht Frankfurt. £65 million is a lot of money, and again, probably isn't very Brighton. They certainly wouldn't go out and spend that, I don't think, on a centre-back, but we're doing a wonder kid save. It's more than I'd like to spend, but he's one of the best on the game, and I'm trying to sort of show off some of the best on the game as well. So there is one. Luca Lipani is someone that came in last season, which again I tried to get out on loan. We signed him for just £5 million. Looks like a very good CDM sign from Sassuolo. Great potential. We'll see if we can get anything out of him. Didn't manage to go out on loan last season, so it sort of staggered him a little bit, but hopefully he can go out on loan this season. Adam Nagalo has been signed from Luton. Now he was obviously at Norges Land when the save starts. He went to Luton and got relegated, so we picked him up. £15 million, a very good, very good backup centre-back for us. Luton have made a nice bit of profit, but I think for us, being a backup centre-back, Premier League experience, fantastic. Great aggression, great pace, great defensive stats. Can also play in DM if needed, so £15 million is a bargain. Kylian Sadadelia, again, I sign him on every rebuild at this point. He's a right back. He's fantastic. As a full back on defend, suits him again very, very well. Much better than Tariq Lamptey for this position, which is why I've gone ahead and sold Lamptey for 40 and signed Kylian Sadadelia for £7.5 million, because it just makes sense. Such a good fullback, and for so cheap, he has to be signed pretty much. A backup striker to Evan Ferguson, who is certainly going to go ahead and score goals. Tien Den Bogende. Now, this guy is at Young Utrecht, or Utrecht in real life, and I can't believe his stats. 16 finishing, 17 composure. This guy's 17 years old when the game kicks off. How is he so good? He must go in front of goal and know he's going to score every time he gets there. He's brilliant. Great pace, great off-the-ball work as well. Great determination. 6'2", again, building up a big, strong side here. It sort of suits a classic Dutch striker, a bit of Ruud van Nistelrooy kind of vibes from Tien here. So big fan of Van den Benge, and I hope we do get bits out of him as well. Signed for £14.5 million. Now, last signing is a young centre-back from Argentina to try and be better than Naves. I think he's gone already, to be honest. He wasn't doing very well progressively. Hardly played a game last season. So signed someone with a lot better potential for very cheap from Racing Club, £6 million. Gonzalo Escudero. I think this season he's going to go out on loan to, I can't remember where he goes, but he goes out on loan in the Championship, which is going to be good for him to sort of get used to English football. So hopefully we can see him in a few years' time, but Gonzalo is going to come in and go back out on loan. And from the other players as well, I mean, we've sent a lot of players out on loan, but we've also sort of just kept players here at the club. Buonanotte has gone out on loan to Wolves, Hinchelwood's gone out on loan to Sheffield Wednesday, Mazialu's gone out on loan to Sunderland, Boselli to Sheffield United, Kolowski to Watford, Naves to Preston, Roca to Watford, Bonboeti to Wickham, and Ben Jackson to Bristol Rovers. But in terms of potential, yeah, we're growing. We're certainly growing. Darren Bodkin's going to go out on loan, hopefully. Nicky Schonk looks like a fantastic young goalkeeper, just straight through the academy, which is great. I mean, the actual club info is good here at Brighton. Some great facilities, so we should be able to get some good players come through. The team is now looking very good with Babrugan in goal, Sedilia, Pacho, Dunk, Estupinian, Baleba, Samu, Bakayoko, Mitoma, Kjærgaard and Ferguson. So a very strong side. Things are looking very good for Brighton, and I'm excited to see what this season holds for us. The backups is now pretty much Wonderkids only. Beadle, Veltman, but Nagalo, Marmol, Dorgu, Lipani, Ayari, March, Pedro, Enciso and Tien Van Begende. The team looks great. I'm so happy that just 2 seasons in, this is the team we have built. So we'll see what we can do. Europa League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, Premier League. Another trophy would be fantastic. Well, a season of getting to quarterfinals and falling short. Quarterfinal by Brentford in the Carabao, quarterfinal by West Ham in the FA Cup, and quarterfinal by Sevilla in the Europa League. But coming 6th in the Premier League, which has somehow landed us in the Champions League. I've never seen 6th place being Champions League football, but apparently it does now. The coefficient rankings must be ridiculous in England's favour, because that's quite wild. So we've got a season in the Champions League, which is great. And you can see from this season, we were actually brilliant for the whole thing. We were in the sort of the top 2 for most of the start of the season, dropped down to just outside the top 4, got up to 3rd again in the sort of the March time, and then dropped down when we sort of started playing all these competitions again, in sort of 5th and 6th, and come 6th on 65 points, a positive goal difference of plus 14, which is great to see. So defence must have been shored up, and you can see that from the data hub. Defence much better, goal scoring much better, goals coming from Evan Ferguson and Maurits Kjærgaard. Kjærgaard, he's just taken it for himself. 23 goals and 13 assists. I'm not going to keep talking about him. He's brilliant, all right? Evan Ferguson is just doing Evan Ferguson things. I don't know. I don't know if I should be blown out of the water, but 18 goals doesn't strike me as the best Wonderkid striker on the game kind of vibes. The fact that Cam is outscoring him is a bit worrying to me. He's not really progressed in any of his stats either. He's just, I don't know. I don't understand the hype on FM. In real life, this guy's fantastic, but on FM, Vitor Roque for me is such a better Wonderkid striker. I'm not getting the results out of him, is what I'm saying. But Evan Ferguson, he's still going to be here for the 5 seasons. He just might hamper us, I can't lie. João Pedro, 14-7 as the backup cam. And Mitoma had a fantastic season. 20 assists and 12 goals is brilliant to see. He was absolutely outrageous. 8-6 for Bakayoko. Again, it's a great season. A 7.10 average rating is fantastic. In terms of the best average ratings across it, Kjærgaard, Mitoma, Bakayoko, Estupinian being strong. Bart Verbruggen, I mean, I'm not gonna tell you again. Bart Verbruggen, he's that guy. He just is that guy, all right? Solly March has been good for us as a backup still. Sedilia as the backup right back / starter has been fantastic. Samu, absolutely brilliant. Where is the man, the myth, the legend? Baleba, 3 and 4 this season, so a little bit of a drop-off, to be honest, which isn't great. In terms of Wonderkids, they are getting some game time. Beadle didn't play a game, which isn't to be sort of expected. Dorgu, 9 off the bench. Lipani, 2 games, 11 off the bench. Tien Van den Benge, 3 goals and 2 assists. I mean, he will grow. He looks fantastic. Decent enough in just 3 starts. Enciso played over 20 games overall, which is good to see. He is now in the team. Yasin Ayari played 40 games including starts on the bench, which is great. He is here at Brighton as well. So if you've got him, try and use him. He looks fantastic. Nagalo over 40 games overall, again, is fantastic. Bakayoko's doing bits in terms of the loans. Because we've got such a big squad, a lot of players are going on loan, and a lot of them are smashing it. Facundo Buonanotte, yeah, That's a fantastic season, my friend. In the Championship, 15 goals, 6 assists, a 7.29 average rating. It might be time to cash in because we've got better players, but £80 million value is fantastic. Again, if you can get the best out of him, use him. Boselli did bits in the Championship, was very, very good there, 39 games. Escudero played a little bit in the Championship, which is good. Probably a bit more game time than would have got here. Roca is now a Championship player, right? Well, League One player rather than League Two. Did bits at Watford, which is good to see. He was okay. Hinchelwood was fantastic for Sheffield Wednesday, and I think as one of them guys who is going to come through the academy in real life, I think this guy is going to get a place in the team for the next 2 years as well. So Jack Hinchelwood, keep an eye on him. Adrian Miziulu, 52 games, 8 goals out at Sunderland is great. It's almost an Amad Diallo kind of save, that is. Kozlowski did okay at Watford. Again, so much value in him. He's worth £31 million, but just isn't quite good enough. So we might see him go in. Naves played 32 games in League One, which is good for him, but yeah, he's not that guy. Bodkin went out on loan to Shrewsbury and played 41 games. Didn't have the greatest time, but introduction into sort of men's football was good to see. So he is hopefully going to grow. Did I just see 77? No, 27. I was going to say. And Benicio did okay over at Wycombe as well, but isn't going to grow into a player that we are interested in, sadly, on this save. But a fantastic season, to be honest. I'm very, very happy with it. You know, getting into sort of deeper of all 3 competitions and managed to keep in the Premier League is fantastic. So Champions League football up next. What do they give us money-wise? A lot, okay? A lot of money. So let's go and spend it. Well, I'm in a scenario where I've signed all the Wonder Kids possible, so I don't need to go out and improve the team too much. It's a case of growing. So I'm going to add some Wonder Kids in and one absolute star man. So Goran Drobnjak is the first signing. This guy is over at Partizan. Again, I'm not sure with the face glitch if he's real or if he is generated through the game. So if he's on your saves, he looks fantastic. He's a complete wing back at right back, but to be honest, doesn't suit us at all. So we've signed him for 3.7 million and loaned him back out to Partizan. I think next season he'll go out on loan again. He's going to be one of them that you guys can pick up on Patreon and get bits out of when he changes formation. He's very determined, great bravery, great teamwork, great pace, great dribbling, great technique as well, which is fantastic. So get the chance to sign Goran. If he's on your saves, go ahead and do it. He looks fantastic. Luis Guilherme is again one of the best Wonder Kids on the game. This guy is fantastic over in Brazil. We signed him for £12 million, loaned him out to Palmeiras again because again he's not going to get the game time, and since coming to us and going on loan, he's absolutely smashed it. 3 goals and 1 play of the match, a 7.57. And again, this guy can develop into one of the best Wonder Kids on the game. So you guys are lucky. I've signed him for you early on. He's got a fantastic value. Hopefully, you can develop him into one of the best players. We're probably not going to see it on this save, for example. If you guys want to see like a 5-year sim after, I'm more than happy to do that. That could even be this Sunday's video. So if you want to see that, get it down in the comments down below. The Brighton rebuild in 5 years of how the Wonder Kids got on. But they look fantastic. Lester Muriello is someone I've signed as well. This guy's from South Africa, from Supersport United. And again, it's someone we've found from the scouting range that I sort of showed. 425,000. This good. You can find some Wonder Kids, I tell you, for very, very cheap. Great determination, great agility, great aggression, great technique, great dribbling, crossing. Finishing needs to improve, but as a Mitoma replacement maybe in 2 or 3 years, yeah, fantastic signing for Leicester. 5'4", tricky little winger. Suits Mitoma. And the last signing, like I said, we've gone for a big boy to come in and improve the team. Again, under 23, and his name is Rayan Cherki. This guy is fantastic, okay? He is brilliant in real life. Great flair, a very tricky little player, and has developed quite well over at Lyon. Played a lot of SIG games over there, pretty much nearly a 7 every single season, which is great. And is now going to come in here to be any of the 3, really. He can play right wing, he can play left wing, he can play cam, he can use both feet. I'm a huge fan of Rayan Cherki, very consistent as well. So we'll see what we can get out of him. Great dribbling, great first touch, technique, composure, flair, agility. The team looks ridiculously strong. Verbruggen in goal, Sedelia, Pancho, Marmo, Estupinian, Baleba, Samu, Cherki, Kjærgaard, Mitoma and Ferguson. Still 5 Brighton players in the first 11 in Season 4, which shows the Wonder Kids that are already here at the club. The backups, we've now got a full 15 squad because we're in the Champions League. So Beadle, Hinchelwood is the backup right back, Nagalo, Dunk, Dorgu, Lipani, Ayari, Bakayoko, Pedro, Enciso, Dembogende, Shonk, Escudero, March, and Joel Roca. A big squad full of Wonder Kids. Season 4, let's win it all. Well, I don't know why I said let's win it all, because that was never going to happen, okay? Round of 16 in the Champions League by Real Madrid, I think is, good enough, all right? In the league phase, how do we get on? 14th, 8 games, 4 wins, 1 draw, 3 losses, 13 points. The losses, Real Madrid, Wolfsburg and Galatasaray. We beat Arsenal, Celtic, Nice and Leipzig, and we drew to Man City. So a very, very good Champions League campaign for us. Sadly, getting knocked out in the round of 16 is annoying. FA Cup, third rounded by Liverpool, the eventual winners. How frustrating to get there in the third round. And the Carabao Cup semi-final by Arsenal, who lost the final to Everton. So that could have been ours, okay? That's really frustrating. We could have easily beat Everton in that. We lost 3-2 in aggregate, which is infuriating. But the league, we did very, very well. Again, we come 6th. And again, battling with all of these competitions and doing as well as we are, I think is very impressive. 64 points, 8 goal difference, positive again. Last season, this guy's Champions League. This season, it doesn't. Very odd, okay? I don't know what's going on, but we've got the same points as Liverpool, and we just about don't get champions. We missed out on Champions League by goal difference, which is annoying, but it gives us a chance to go and win the Europa League because we've won the Conference League. We haven't won the Europa League, which is something I'd like to do, and set you guys up for Champions League football for Season 5. Money-wise, we've got lots to spend again, but we've got all the Wonder Kids we could possibly want. Evan Ferguson is... I keep saying it. He's doing Evan Ferguson things. He's being average. 15 goals and 5 assists. I'm using him as the striker for the whole 5 years out of principle at this point. It's not because I want to. Kiergaard, 18 goals and 6 assists. 11 goals, 11 assists from Matoma. 10 and 4 for Pedro. 10 and 12 for Bakayoko. It's a great season. Shirky, a little bit quiet. 7 and 5. Pancho's been fantastic since coming in. Estupiñán, still one of the standout players on this Brighton side. He's just absolutely brilliant. So, huge fan. Hinchwood got lots of game time this year. And again, he's one that's coming through in real life. And it's great to see that he's managed to get game time now in season number 4. 26 games overall. And a Big Bar, nearly a 7 again. 50 games. The goalkeeper you all need to go ahead and sign. So we're going to quickly move on to season 5 because that's a little bit disappointing. But we have got the Europa League. So hopefully we can win that. And well, because there's not too many players I can show you of signing, we're going to skip to the end of Season 5. I'm going to quickly show you the players we have signed for you guys to go ahead and use. Like Ronaldo here as a 19-year-old Brazilian goalkeeper. We've got Sal Comendi, who's coming as the best right-back at the club, who looks fantastic. Absolutely brilliant right-back and a very good up-and-down player. Shaquille Van Persie's been brought in, £15 million. At this point, I'm just bringing in every Wonder Kid because why on earth not? You've got Big Shaq now. You pick this up on Patreon. This save really is every Wonder Kid in one team. Lucas Riviera is someone I've found. £5.5 million. Looks like he'll become the best midfielder in the world if you play him. So he looks brilliant. He's back out on loan at River, but comes back this season. And £40 million on Archie Gray because Archie Gray is because one of the best Wonder Kids on the game. He's fantastic. He looks brilliant. And this season was fantastic as well in midfield. In terms of competitions this season, we did win the Europa League. A 2-0 victory against Newcastle, which is very good to see. João Pedro and Matoma scoring the goals. But I'm just disappointed, to be honest, in one man of this whole rebuild. And I've got on his back the whole time. It's Evan Ferguson. I don't understand the Ferguson hype on FM. I don't think I'm ever using him again. He's pushed me away, Evan. I'm sorry you have. But 21 goals this season in 40 games. I've seen Danny Welbeck do that on FM. So Evan Ferguson on FM for me. It's the end of our love relationship. In real life, I hope you come to Manchester United and be a rotation option with Rasmus Højlund / even play together. In some alternate universe, I would love to see it. But on Foot Manager, I can't see it. This goal return, it's just not it. 5 goals in a whole Premier League season. 13, 12, 11 and 9. Very poor. Very, very poor. Martin Kiergaard, however, I love him. And I'm going to sign him on every rebuild for the next 10 years. You will see this guy all the time, okay? He's fantastic. Go ahead and get him. Another fantastic season for him. João Pedro was very good this season as well. 9 and 12 for Bakayoko. Again, this season's been a bit, this sort of rebuild has been a bit under the radar, but has been fantastic. 104 games for us now overall. 18 goals. And pretty much every season over a 7. One season dropping to a 6.91 and this to a 6.92. But 705, 711 and 7 is fantastic. So huge fan of Bakayoko. Archie Gray was a great signing at the end as well. And in terms of the league, we come 9th, but we've got Champions League because we won the Europa League, which is great. Didn't lift the FA Cup, which at this point I'd like to have won that. Carabao Cup we didn't win this season, but we did back a go. So we won we won 1 Carabao Cup, a Europa Conference League and a Europa League in 5 years, and secures you guys Champions League football for the end of it as well. And you've got every Wonder Kid you could ever want. So enjoy the save on Patreon. If you don't want Patreon and you want to just enjoy the save as is, if you want to see us go 5 years in the future to see how these guys got on, let me know down in the comments down below. And thank you for watching. If you've not watched it yet, the Complete Mate series is well underway, and India was the last one just down there.